Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Nostalgia Train. Yeah, well, in this episode, we're going to be talking about Sweden's very first vampire movie. That's Frostbitten. I really love this film. I saw it many years ago. I can't remember exactly what year that was, but it was like in maybe 2007 or 8, I think. I really enjoyed it because I love vampire films. Underworld, um, Blade. So I love vampire films. So this one I really enjoyed. Although it's not in English, there was subtitle for it, but I still enjoyed this film. It's about this. The film starts off. We see these handful of soldiers. This is like 1944. So this during the Second World War, and they're fleeing from the Red Army. Yeah, this is actually in Ukraine. So they now find this, and it's in winter. Really, there's snow up to your ankles and all that, up to your knees. Really high snow. So the weather is really really harsh, really harsh. So they now see this like abandoned cabin in the forest, and they now decide to spend the night there. So in the night, they now start getting attacked by vampires because they didn't know that the cabin actually had a hidden crypt where there were vampires underneath. So the vampires started taking them out one by one. So the battle now goes on through the night till the morning. So at the end of the battle, there's only like one soldier left. So then we now cut to present day. We now see a woman and her teenage daughter. She's Dr. Dr. Annika, and she's moving to Lapland. This is in Sweden, not Ukraine. Now we're in Sweden. So she now moves with her teenage daughter to Lapland because she's got a new job. She wanted to be close to this renowned geneticist, geneticist. Sorry, forgive me. And Dr. Beckart. And so because of that, they move. And it's the beginning of what's it called? It's the beginning of there's a beginning of I forgot what they call it, where it's gonna be nighttime for like a longer period, like a whole month is gonna be nighttime. It's not gonna be dawn until like a month from now, something like that. I forgot what they call it. So there's of course the daughter is not happy. Her name is Sega. She's not happy. So she's not happy about the move. She's not happy about the town they moved to. So she's not in a good mood. So anyway, so she now goes to her new school and she makes friends with this girl called Sega. She's a goth girl. She's a goth chick, and they become friends. So she now invites her to this party they were having that night at a fellow student's house. John. His parents are not going to be in a home, so they're not going to be like in town. So he has the house to himself. So he wants to throw like a party. So she now says, of course she's going to come. Her mom's actually working the graveyard shift, and she's not going to be at home, so she can go have a good time. So at the hospital, the mom now meets the Dr. Picard, and she's so happy to study under him. She's heard good things. There's been so much rave about his work. So they start working. So he's got these comatose patients that he's treating. He has like an entire ward of coma patients that he's treating, and so there's this guy Sebastian. He works in the hospital. He's friends with Vega. So Vega paid him some money to help score some drugs for the party they were going to have that night. So he's supposed to steal from Dr. Picard and Beckart. So he does, and he steals these drugs that Dr. Picard has been using to treat the comatose patient. So he steals the drug, and he even tries one of them, but he has a much different reaction than what he thought. He now found like he was able to, like he's had heightened hearing, and he's able to talk to dogs. He's able to understand dogs. Like to him, the dogs are actually speaking like English and say English, and he's able to understand and converse with dogs. But of course, he just checks that off as being high, that the drug is actually making him to hallucinate all these things. So he now steals the drugs and goes off. So and Vega now comes to him to say, okay, where's the drugs I paid you for? So he now lies and says, oh, he forgot to actually steal them. Oh, he forgot. Oh, you know, he now promised, oh, but right now he has to go meet his girlfriend and have dinner with her parents and all that. So he now, but she now finds the drugs where he stashed them, and she now steals them. So, but he didn't know that. So she now leaves with the drugs. So at the hospital, Dr. Anika is checking on one of the Dr. Beckett's coma patients, and this one now like wakes up and bites her, and she now is able to restrain the patient, and then she now goes to the doctor and tells him, look, one of your patients, comatose patient, actually bit me. So as she's explaining, what happened and this and that, he just looks at her and he now knocks her unconscious. So when she now comes to, he now explains, and we now learn that he's the soldier that survived, the only soldier that survived that onslaught of vampire attacks during World War II. And he now explains that after the battle was over, that there was actually one surviving vampire, a young girl named Maria. She was only vampire left. So he now became like curious about vampires and was now trying to find a cure for it. So he's been experimenting all these years trying to find a cure. So, but then his desire now drifted to something else where he's now trying to create a new breed of vampire. So that's what he's been doing with his comatose patient. He's been experimenting on them. Since they're unable to wake up and cause problems, he actually, those medications that guy Sebastian stole is actually the blood of Maria put inside a capsule, which he now gives to his comatose patients, and they become vampires, and he studies them. And when he's done, we actually see this happen in the film. He now takes a stake and stakes one of the patients. So that's what he's been doing. He's been using them as his human guinea pig to experiment, and so they can't talk plainly, so they can't complain. So he now explains this. So she now, he now has to kill her because he can't have this, because she can run around and even infect more people, and then it will be a problem. He doesn't want that. He wants a controlled situation. So then now he's like, okay, well now my work is come undone because someone has stolen the drugs, and now it's gonna so at least anyway, so he just was like, okay, but I gotta dispatch you because I can't have you hang around. So she now is able to free herself from her restraint. They now battle and everything, and she now stakes him, and then for good measure she now runs him over with an ambulance, and then she now drives out of the hospital. So at the party, Vega now arrives, now gives the drugs to John, the guy who's hosting the party, and he now puts it in the punch, and he now drinks it and starts handing it out, and other high school students start drinking it, but not everyone, even including what's her name, Sega, the daughter of Anika. She refused to drink it, so she didn't drink it. So those who drank it now became vampires and started feeding on those who did not drink. So there's now a huge fracas. It's now a bloodbath, and Vega now comes to bite Sega, but she's able to fight her off and eventually impales her with a garden gnome. So her mom now shows up, and they now get into the ambulance and drive away. So, but the neighbors in the neighborhood are now feel like, okay, this loud music, this screaming and shouting, they think it's the kids having the party and that they become unruly and they're on drugs. So they now call the police, say, disturbances, in the neighborhood, So the cops now arrive, only to now see a whole vampire situation. And they're surrounded by the vampires. And John now says to them oh, don't worry, it'll soon be over soon, in a month, because there's not going to be any sunlight for a whole month, so they're going to be on the rampage. So then we now see Sega, she's in the ambulance, her mom is driving, and she now sees a young girl in the ambulance with her, and it's Maria, and she now says, oh, you and I are going to be like sisters. Then she now is like, who's this? And she now looks at the rearview mirror at her mom, okay, what's going on here? Who's this girl? So she's just looking at her mom, okay, what's going on? And the mom's, we now see the rearview mirror, the mom's eyes, and her eyes are glowing red because she too, she was bitten in the hospital, so she's also turned, and that's where the film ends. So wow, what a way to end it. So it's really good. I really enjoyed the film. It's one of my favorite. I love it. It's one of my favorite vampire films. I really enjoyed it. If you've not seen Frostbitten, check it out. It has subtitles, so you can enjoy it by reading subtitles. But it's really good. So well, that's it for this video. If you've enjoyed the video, Please like the video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.